Hello everyone, hope you're well. I'm here to film probably what is the most exciting video that I have ever filmed on YouTube, because I have a big announcement. If you do not follow me on Instagram, then you probably don't know, but I said yes and I'm here to do a little story time for you guys, just going through a few things. I know a lot of you are curious and I want to fulfill that curiosity. This video is for those of you who genuinely are invested in me as if I were your friend, as if you know me. I know that recently, especially in the last sort of 6 months or so, I've met so many of you and I feel like the relationship that we have has grown even stronger. And if you're watching this video out of pure love and curiosity, keep watching. If there are any other feelings involved, just go and watch some Netflix. I did a poll on Instagram. If you're not following me, like I said, make sure to follow my personal and my business Instagram, please. And so many of you guys had questions. Like, honestly, I could keep going and going. A lot of these questions are the same, which is obviously great for me because it makes my life easier. I got engaged recently in Mexico. Now, my ring is slightly big, as you guys can probably see. I have a feeling it might be one or half a size too big, and I didn't know much about rings. I thought that, you know, with these kind of things you get them super early and, you know, there's a huge amount of time, but actually we need to go and get it resized ASAP. So I'll be without it for a little while and I really wanted to film this video for you guys. Probably the main question that everybody was asking, and that is, did you know? Did you have a clue that this was going to happen? So many of you guys were also asking, how did you meet? Like, how long have you guys been together? I'm not going to go through those questions. I have so many videos on that topic on my channel. And short answer is, did I expect it? Yes. I knew that this was kind of going to happen, hopefully, within the sort of year of 2022. It is something that we've been talking about for a long time. I just knew that, look, 2022 is the year that I need to have my nails on point. Every single big event, it could kind of happen, and my birthday was coming up. It's our 3-year anniversary in the summer. Like, there's lots of things going on, and a lot of people ask me, like, you know, you're going to Mexico, is it going to happen? And I was always like, you know, maybe, probably, could, I don't know, but obviously if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So I would be lying if I said no, it was a complete surprise, and that wouldn't be true. Another question I had was, your nails look great, like, you know, did you get them done for this reason? And yes, I have a great nail manicurist, Jules, who has done my nails a couple of times now. I knew this year was going to be the year that my nails really need to be on point. I think I booked in with her like a month before my holiday, and when she came in I was like, look, Julia, this could potentially happen. She took such good care of my nails. I'll leave her details down below. She does travel around the London area and she's also based at the Corinthia in London. Please don't book her up because I need to see her. But I sort of sat down with her. We went through a couple of nail options. You guys know I love like a pinky nude anyway, and we went with this kind of sheer pink, a little bit more sheer than I would normally go for. Actually, I normally like more of an opaque finish, but this is it, I think, like 10 or 12 days grown out, and maybe more, maybe 2 weeks actually. I actually think it's exactly 2 weeks, and look at these nails, they look perfect. And obviously I was going on like a summer holiday. Normally I'd go for like maybe a brighter color, but I'm so glad we went for something really simple. I don't know what color this is exactly, but feel free to message her and ask her. Another massive question was, did you pick the ring? And this is another topic which I feel like I would love to know more about. You know, when I went into talking to him about engagements and, you know, we were talking about all of this stuff, how do you broach a subject of like a ring with a man? It's not an easy subject to breach, and I think there is a lot of confidence that you have to have within your relationship and, you know, within your, you know, you as a two, that it isn't an awkward subject. And I think there's also nice roundabout ways of doing it. I don't think you necessarily have to be as direct as maybe I was. I was very direct, and last year we did go ring shopping. It's not something I really wanted to talk about with anyone because it was like our special thing. I think if I'd gone around and told all of my family, like, we're going ring shopping, everyone would have been really excited. There would be so much pressure. I can't remember when. I just sort of broached the subject. I know that there's things like dummy rings, and you know, there's actually a breadth of options that can be chosen. I sort of wanted to make the process as easy as possible also for him. So off we plopped to Hatton Garden, which is an area in London that's really popular for jewelry design, and there's a lot of jewelry makers and, you know, diamond shops. And when I say, like, I feel like I follow so many Instagram ring pages and jewelry makers, and I sort of already had an idea in my head of what I liked. But one thing that I never knew, and you know, I'd love to know if you guys knew about this, but I was so ignorant, is there's a lot of options when it comes to diamonds. There are your, you know, normal bog standard diamonds that are natural, then there are the lab grown, and then there's massonites or mossonites. The budget and the prices are so varied in that kind of category. And a lot of these Instagram pages that you guys see, where you see these huge, like 2 carat, 3 carat stones, are lab grown or masonite, whatever it's called. Although yes, I love simple rings, I knew that the size of the diamond, the more simple I would go, I would probably like a larger diamond. So obviously I had no idea how much these things cost, and you can buy diamonds for not as expensive, but as some of you guys know, and again, I'm not at all an expert in this topic, but with diamonds, there's so many things that go into it, like clarity, is it brilliance, the color. My partner's probably more educated than me. The only thing I would say with Hatton Garden, and I'd love to know if any of you guys had the same experience, I didn't really get to try on that many finished rings, which I found really hard because I'm a really visual person, and I found that all they were doing was getting a setting, putting a diamond on it, and expecting me to have like a vision. And although yes, I did, it would have been nice to try on a few more finished rings. And I think maybe also I wasn't prepared enough. I should have looked more into like the more niche shops, maybe without a shop front. When I did try things on, I really quickly noticed that my hand is really dainty, especially when I don't have these, you know, longer nails. I have a really small hand with baby fingers, and I wanted something and a shape that really elongated my hand. So I would so urge you, even if you don't go with your partner, go and try rings on, even if it's with your friends and then you want to send pictures over, you know, you want to send some hints over. I would have thought I'd love a massive diamond, and it just looked really odd on my hand. I think the way that made it look slightly more, you know, proportioned was, I loved the halo design. So it was either going to be that, I either loved, is it a bezel setting? The diamond just sits on the metal sort of, oh my god, I'm going to use such bad names, but like casing. I didn't love a prong design on me, just, oh my god, I'm so butchering all of this, but you know, where the diamond just sits on the clasp of the setting. And I also thought, this is my engagement ring, like I want it to be sparkly. I know lots of you guys thought that I'd go super simple, but another thing I'd really recommend is when you are, you know, thinking about something like this, look at other women's hands. I work in like a client-facing setting, so I'm really lucky. I get to see a lot of women. Also where I work, there's a lot of nice women that come to see me both in the pharmacy and at my studio. And one thing I love to do is look at their hands and look at their rings, and I always found that I was drawn to, you know, the halo designs, a sort of more sparkly ring. Going even more further, there are so many different diamond shapes. There's emeralds, which I actually went for, cushion, oval, round, princess. Like, try them on, you guys, trust me. But I just loved how this sort of shape, I really felt like elongated my fingers, made them look a bit more slender, and I just feel like is really in proportion. You guys can see I sort of have the ring sitting a little bit higher, and the band sort of splits. So I wanted the ring to still be classic, but to have a little bit of something. I tried on like a twist setting, like different designs, but I really liked the way that this sort of looked, especially when I had my hand to the side. Initially, I actually wanted a double halo, but I'm so glad that when he went to design the ring and have a look at the ring, he said that it just looked too chunky, so we ended up going for a single. But that's as much as I'm gonna say about my ring. Honestly, I it surpassed my expectations in every single way. I'd also love to know your stories. Like, did you guys get a surprise ring? Did he get it just right? Did you get something that you weren't, you know, you didn't think you'd like, but then you ended up loving? I would just love to know your engagement stories. I'd love to know what you guys experienced too. Okay, let's talk the day of the engagement. Again, going on to did I know, blah blah blah. When we got to Mexico, it was so funny because although yes, I thought okay, maybe it could happen, I feel like we had our itinerary planned like the day after we arrived. So we arrived late in the evening, and already I feel like by the next day we already knew exactly what we were doing. So I didn't feel like anything kind of prepared me, or there was anything there that I felt like, oh, it could be here or it could be there. So we were going to is it called Cirque du Soleil? We went to wine tasting, did a mixology class, all this kind of stuff. We had all our restaurant reservations booked, and I just sort of thought, it doesn't seem like this is going to fit anywhere. Like, we have everything planned pretty much until the end of the trip, bar maybe a couple of days. And I just sort of didn't think much about it anymore. And we saw a couple taking photographs, and bear in mind that when we have discussed engagements before, and obviously I might have put to him that there was a few things that weren't really to my taste. Maybe we were watching a movie and I was like, you know, this isn't really how I would maybe want my engagement to be. I remember mentioning to him that I would love to have the day sort of remembered in some way, so to have some kind of photography to it. And bless him, he took it super literally, which is so sweet, especially him knowing what I do. There are special moments in your life that, you know, I'm so lucky with YouTube. I get to look back at so many points in my life, and, you know, I look at a certain video and I'm like, I remember what I was doing around this time. I remember how I was feeling. We saw this couple taking photos, and, you know, we were kind of giggling. It was quite cheesy, I'm not gonna lie. And, you know, I don't really do professional photos. I don't, you know, he's the same, he definitely doesn't do professional photos. And we were just kind of laughing and giggling, and he just mentioned to me, he was like, oh, you know, they do this thing complimentary, should we do it? Like, let's just do it, it's just gonna be a bit of fun. You know, what are we even gonna do with the pictures? And we just were like, oh, we might give them to our mums. You know, I think they'd really like this, and it's a nice memory of the holiday. If it's free, whatever, let's just do it. He literally just mentioned the day after that he booked it, and that we were going to be doing it a Saturday at 5 o'clock. Obviously the day came for this photo shoot, and although yes, a little bit at the back of my mind I was like, you know, could it kind of happen? The first thing he said to me, which I was like, I just don't think it's going to happen, is he was like, oh, you know, is an hour going to be enough for you to get ready today for this photo thing? And I was like, he knows how much I love to take my time getting ready when it comes to anything, like, especially, you know, if I'm getting ready for whatever. Like, I just didn't think that on a day like my engagement he would be like, is an hour going to be enough? And then actually it didn't even end up being an hour, it ended up being like 40 minutes. My hair was doing my head in on this holiday, because anytime I'm on holiday I feel like I've just got a frizzy mess of hair. So I just sort of again put it to the back of my mind. Also felt like very casual, and we went and met the photographer. We made it really clear. I said, look, we want this to be fun, we just want them to be fun and natural. And yes, there were a few in there that were kind of posier and, you know, that kind of thing, but we did try and make it as, you know, fun as possible. If I feel like it, I might insert a few pictures here, because we do have quite a few. And the photo taking kind of took about 20 minutes, and when we saw the other couple, they were taking forever. Like, they were listen, the photo shoot was going on for like 40 minutes or something. Went by the beach, and I kind of was looking around, you know, to see if I saw any flowers or a picnic or some marry me sign or something, which, you know, that maybe wouldn't have been my taste. But, you know, I was kind of keeping my eyes and ears open. There was a wedding going on, so it just, I don't know, it just didn't, it kept leaving my mind. We got to this gorgeous bridge with a beautiful view, and I was like, this is lovely. And we started to take individual photos. So again, I was like, okay, these are more for like the mums and stuff, like whatever, this is so cute. And he looked really sweet, you know, taking his individuals. And then this photographer was like, okay, it's your turn. I was touching up my lip gloss. I was like, okay, whatever, like, let me just bang this out and we can go for dinner. The photographer tells me, okay, look at the sea. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at the sea, we're gonna take these pictures. And he was really fixated on having me put my foot on the railing of this bridge, and I really didn't want to. I feel like there are certain areas, you know your angles. I was like, I don't really want to put my foot there, whatever. So I did my own thing, and then he was like, no, like, please put your foot on this. So I turn around a little bit and he goes, no, look back at the seat. So I literally just did this, looked back. He goes, okay, now turn around to look at him. And I turn around, and I think the first thing that I saw, and I'm not even kidding you, was not the ring, it wasn't anything, it was his face and him being on his knee. And I was like, this is it. And it still, like, it was just, honestly, I didn't see the photographer, I didn't see anything, there was no one around us. And the first thing I just noticed was how nervous he was, and he asked me, would you marry me? And I think the first thing that I said, which I never say, was, are you kidding? Are you actually kidding? And I then all of a sudden realized, I was like, oh my god, I haven't said yes. And then you know, I said yes, and we, you know, kissed and la la la. And I now have all those memories as pictures. And the photographer was really sweet. He literally only took a couple of photos after that, and then he was like, you know, have your moment, come back to see me tomorrow at the studio and we'll choose your pictures. And that was it. And then we had an amazing evening together. Went on the beach. We called, obviously, my mum, who I then found out that he'd obviously called the night before asking for permission. We called his mum, his sisters, my sister was with my mum, and then I also found out that he'd called my dad, which set me off completely into, I mean, literally tears and tears and tears. And probably if you've seen my engagement photos, that's why my mascara's all smudged, and I'd been crying and crying and crying. And we called his friends. Like, it was honestly the best moment, and I'm sure you guys will understand. I didn't tell you guys on the day, but I posted it on Instagram the next day. So if you haven't seen that post, go and have a look, because it is super sweet. And I'm so happy that he, you know, remembered, and that we have those memories forever, basically. One big tip for the men out there, if there is any way that you can you know, make the memory last that bit longer, then I really recommend it. You know, I totally understand, and I feel like, you know, before we got engaged, everyone continuously was asking us, when are you going to get engaged, when are you going to get engaged? And now it's going to be the when are you getting married, when are you getting married question. We have so much going on, you guys, like with us. And I'm sure you guys know by now, we've been looking to buy a house for so long now, and you know, we really put it on the back burner once I started the business and everything. You guys know I've always been obsessed with properties and, you know, all that kind of thing, and he loves that sort of thing as well. So I feel like that is our main goal of the upcoming year or so. But when the wedding does come, which we're not leaving it that long, but when the wedding does come, this will come, I don't know, let me know what you guys think, but will come probably as no surprise to a lot of you. It is going to be a destination wedding. As some of you guys will know, I'm half Italian. I was born in Italy. I moved to the UK when I was 7, so I have strong ties to where I was born, and getting married in Italy has always been a dream of mine, and luckily he loves the idea. You know, getting married in the UK is so expensive. I am so one of these people who I would prioritize my house over anything. And although yes, like, a wedding is amazing, and I do want to have a wedding, especially, you know, for my mum and his mum and sisters, and you know, it's a celebration of us as well and our family. I prioritize so many things before that. Also, instead of making it like a day thing, if we get married abroad, we can make it more of a little holiday, not just for us but also our guests. And our family's all up for it. His family, you know, both our families and friends seem all up for it. So it won't be a massive wedding. It also probably won't be super traditional either way. I'd love to incorporate different sides of our cultures, like, you know, food wise it will probably be more Italian, but I'd love to have like soffre art maybe thrown in there somewhere. So there's a lot of things that I'd love to incorporate, and I'm getting emotional because I picture it, and I've had this image in my mind of what I'd love our wedding to be for such a long time. And I'd love to get married in Umbria, which is where I'm from, and I feel like prices there are really reasonable. So if you guys have had any experience planning a wedding abroad, especially in Italy, please hit me up on Instagram. I need all the help that I can get. And also, if you have any small businesses related to weddings, you know, whether that be makeup artistry, hair, like, I need any help that I can get, because there are so many things that, you know, come into something like this. And I'm so lucky because I'll have a really good amount of time, but I want to basically start after we've celebrated our engagement, I really want to start looking into venues and things like that, so your help would be greatly appreciated. Let me know what you thought of everything, and whether you do want me to, you know, continue the wedding planning process. And also, like I said, I will be throwing an engagement party, so if you guys want me to vlog that kind of process, I'd be happy to, because we're already looking at venues. I will bid you goodbye. I'll bid you goodbye this way, and just say thank you, and thank you from both of us for all your well wishes. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.